What's going on, everybody? I'm your boy, J. the Boxing Jedi, and welcome to the Boxing and Jedi's Tavern and Temple, however your home, however you want to call it. But I just want to let you guys know that this is the Veterans of Debate stream. I got my man, an OG, a motherfucker that'll air you out, son, with knowledge beyond reasonable doubt, son. That's my man, Zone 6. What's going on, my brother?
Yeah, what's up, Cuddle?
Chilling, my man, chilling, man. Of course, I'm repping the OGs, repping y'all. Yesterday, 3-0 on the live stream, never been done, baby. And I know that you guys are gonna innovate and do other things. But on this live, we're gonna talk boxing. But on this live, the reason why I summoned your powers, my man, is because I need you on your perspective, since you're a debate veteran, a debate king. I need you to exactly explain how a debate is supposed to run for these newborn fucking babies, my man.
Hey man, I've been trying to think about that for the longest, and I came up with a conclusion. I was gonna do a video on this, talking about debates.
Yeah,
Um, the way I see it, when you're talking about debating and actually present facts, because whether you do it from an individual response video, or you do it live in HD,
right,
what I notice is a lot of people don't stick to points, and they don't really understand and comprehend the point.
right.
People ask questions with questions. All right. Now I know people got tactics where they try to, talk you into a corner in a sense, but the facts are the facts. If you're telling the truth, it don't matter what the case is. Like a fact is, what's a hot debate topic?
Fucking
Give,
Wilder
give,
and Wilder and let's just say Fury.
mhm.
Yeah.
No, what would be the claim on both sides? Give me a claim from either side.
The claim would be that Wilder is right now the best heavyweight, simply because of the people he's fighting. As to Fury, is not getting any how do you say, any clout or any credit because of the way he came back, and people still think he ain't real.
Well, so the first point is we know that none of the heavyweight contenders right now are that historically good.
Right,
Like for across the board, they're in a phase of trying to make themselves good. So beating these other guys, like even AJ, Wilder, and Fury, they're beating guys that's trying to come up.
right,
Now, the thing I like about Ruiz's victory over AJ is that he inserted himself in that conversation.
right.
You know what I'm saying? If Ortiz can beat Wilder, he would insert himself into the conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, as far as Wilder's resume, I don't have a problem with his resume, but I don't see where anybody's done anything that's worth the fuck, basically. I mean,
Right,
just being honest with you.
right,
Um, I don't see none of his opponents thus far going down as Hall of Famers.
right,
I don't see them being even the best probably in a era. I don't even see them being the best as a single title holder. Cause you know how some people might be like, "Who's the best WBC?"
yeah,
I don't even see nobody doing that.
right,
And
right,
I just don't, I just don't think people understand what the question may be or what the point is.
right, right,
No heavyweight right now is that good. They're gaining popularity, but AJ the same thing. I mean, AJ fought some okay people that are popular,
right,
but AJ hadn't done anything, neither has Wilder. The fight of the fights is amongst themselves.
right,
And the
right,
one example that we got, it ended in a goddamn draw or arguably a robbery.
right, right,
You see what I'm saying? Which is Fury in Deontay Wilder. So we had no conclusion on who's the best still.
right.
So far as resume and who they beat nobody. None of them.
Nobody whatsoever, bro.
Which outside of AJ beating Vladimir Klitschko,
Which was a torch pass, basically.
but you know how I feel about Vladimir Klitschko.
Mm-hmm.
Vladimir Klitschko had his brother helping him clean out the division, which is stupid. I
Where
didn't like it.
that was
I didn't.
dumb. That was
I
dumb. I
didn't.
was mad because they never fought each other, which they
Yep.
should have.
And the thing is, we gonna give you a pass. We're not gonna ask you to fight your brother,
Right.
but don't ask to be claimed to be the best or undisputed, because it's not undisputed when you have a relative or a partner helping you clean out division. That's
Exactly.
why I was always opposed to the Charlos being in the same division. I would have had the same standard for them.
Word up. Yep, word up. And you know what? If one of them, when 154 move up to 160, I'm expecting that. Peace to Tommy Temper in the house. What's going on, my brother? Good morning.
What's going on, Jedi? What's going on, Ross Clark?
No, that's Zone. That's Zone 6.
Oh, sorry, Zone. My
What's up,
bad.
Tommy? What's up?
Yeah, man. So Zone was just giving his he's letting us know exactly how how to actually not for us but for these youngers on how to debate. He's giving us his insight. So let us know, Tommy, since you've been around debates, as of late, and you're everywhere, brother. What what is the platform for a debate in your perspective, and how should it be handled?
There can be any platform, but it's really we all need to agree to a certain etiquette when it comes to debating.
Right,
Otherwise, it just turns into name calling and who can shout the loudest and the most
right,
insults at the other person, and then it descends into chaos. So we need to have like a code of debating, if that
right,
makes sense.
right. No, it does. It makes lots of sense. You agree, Zone?
Yep, I agree.
All right. Unrivaled boxing, talking news, my man. What's going on, bro?
What up, Jay? Zone, Tommy, how's it going, lads?
Chilling, my brother. Chilling, man.
McGregor.
What's going on?
Yeah, man. Could you give us your insight on how a boxing debate is supposed to be held for these youngins out here?
Oh God, man, there's so many ways, isn't there? Look, it comes down to the style of the two debaters first and foremost. One you'll have yellers; they normally lose,
Oh yeah.
just because they're yelling and making no points. Secondly, you have people who are dealing in fact,
Right.
and they normally win. But uh, the most important thing is what the debate is on. If it's on a factual topic or an
Right.
opinionated topic,
Right.
that's when if it's a factual topic, whoever's dealing in facts normally wins. Whoever's rewriting the fact normally loses.
Right.
That's the first and foremost part. I prefer to nullify my opponent's arguments by just bringing up facts as opposed to opinions, so they're just sat there looking like an idiot.
Yes, sir.
That's my way of doing it. I don't go in to win. I just go in to make people look stupid, which
That's
is
it.
a bit dickish. But that's what a debate is, really.
Yeah.
If you look stupid, you lose.
Yeah.
You need to look like if you can't have a debate and look as though you're intelligent. You need to be intelligent, intelligible. You need to be able to, I don't know, come across with the right mannerisms. Stay calm. As soon as you start getting heated, people are going to be laughing at you. That's the other part of it. So I think the first rule and foremost rule of a debate is to have your facts right before you even go in. Because if you don't, you lose.
Yes, I agree. I have to agree. Yep. And yeah, I tell you right now, man. Look, my style of debating is this: if you yell, I'ma yell back, but I'm yelling facts while you're yelling. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna smack in your face. You're a pussy, and I'm yelling facts. But he's 39-0. But he's done this and that. But you see, so the yelling, as long as the facts are up there, this is the way I debate. If as a yeller, but now if the yeller is just saying stuff like threats and stuff like that, he lost. He lost, and we all seen that. He lost. My
Mm-hmm.
style is basically if you yell and you're not yelling facts and I can't hear you, you're lost. If we're sitting down and it's a calm debate and you're coming with no facts and you're emotional, you're lost. You know what I'm saying? If you call me out of my name and I ain't call you out of your name, and we're having a decent debate and you get frustrated and you start that baby kicking shit, you're lost. So it's real easy. It's really, really, really easy, a debate. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these high-strung new neo-boxing fans, you know what I'm saying, who wear their pants below their asshole, these guys don't understand that debating is an art, man. We take this shit seriously. You see, there are
It
many
is.
levels. Zone 6 has many levels in his debate platform, kid. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask
Roscoe
you this question.
222 has many levels. Unrivaled. I haven't seen you debate, but I can tell from your knowledge you have layers, and so does Tommy. So we're dangerous.
I'm 35. I'm 35 and all right now.
Oh, that's pretty good, kid. 6 more, you be up to me, bro. Because I started my record on Facebook, wrecking motherfuckers. I'm
I
dead
got
ass.
a question.
Yeah.
What? So the non-debaters, right? If you notice, they kind of stick to the same script and they kind of agree on the same things.
Right.
Um, Now one thing I can say you got to be careful with. Now, if you are strictly a factual person, you will tend to win the debate because of your knowledge. But if you don't have any charisma to deliver it and it sounds robotic, it could seem as if though you're just reading off a paper
Right.
and people cannot visualize that. You got to paint a picture.
Right.
Now, if somebody has less knowledge with some opinion in fact, but they're charismatic, you may find yourself in a situation even though you have facts because people will tend to gravitate toward charisma
Right.
mixed in
That's
with a
true.
little truth.
That's true.
Um,
Look at Low Place on. Low
exactly.
Place is one of those guys who has a bit of fact, a lot of
Uh-huh.
charisma, and he makes it difficult for anybody because of how charismatic he is.
Right.
Well, and the thing about somebody who charismatic, when you start poking holes in them, they kind of use their charisma will ante up. That's
Yeah.
when you'll get them to yell, because
Yep.
it's not just yellers who yell. It is the people who have charisma and know what they're talking about. They'll start getting defensive
Yep.
because the facts are starting to diminish, and then now they're relying on their charisma, but they can't. Without no fact behind it, it goes straight. It's like a runaway train.
Yep.
So, like an example, most people, to be God honest truth with you, who like Deontay Wilder, they usually are more charismatic and don't know much about boxing.
Absolute fact.
Um, now,
Absolute fact, bro.
now I noticed that the guys who quote unquote call themselves, eggheads, book, factual nerds, they tend to lean toward AJ. Um,
Shit, man. Yo, that's so true.
okay. Now, a tendency for people who have a lot of knowledge will opt out and side with the veteran versus a up and comer,
Yep.
because a veteran is going to have concrete proof on what he's done because he's been there longer.
Right.
You understand? And then somebody who doesn't have knowledge, they would go off things like the eye test. He looks good. They're talking about his projected potential.
Yeah.
So they like to argue that because it's no fact, but they can use their common sense to say, well, the way he throws the left jab. So, example, the people who are charismatic, like Earl Spence, we know Earl Spence has accomplished very little, but they will lean toward him being undefeated and his physicality, stuff that's abstract, so that they can, lure you into the mystique of Earl Spence to make you side with him in lieu of facts.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so for instance, it is not hard to win a debate right now on who could win a fight between Earl Spence and Pacquiao. It would be now, who's more accomplished, who has accomplished more would be Pacquiao, and a person who is nerdish, quote unquote, we'll say egghead historian, will side with that because that makes sense.
Right.
But somebody who is not that knowledgeable, they will take the argument and talking about, well, I mean, he's better because I think and I feel based on what I see, he can beat Pacquiao.
Right. 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 Right.
So that's what I noticed in YouTube across the board.
Hmm. I hear that, Tommy. Anything you've noticed on the landscape that like Zone 6 pointed out in debates on mannerisms of motherfuckers?
Yeah, there's one thing I've noticed about the Americans compared to the Brits, and that is that the Americans say a lot of the time when they're trying to say what they really think, they say what they feel. And my only problem with that is the Brits say, "Oh, I think this or I think that," for example, right? But my problem with that is if you say that's what you feel half the time, you're talking with emotions rather than using your cognitive function, your rationale, if you know what I mean. Oh, I feel he won. Well, Yeah, that's fine. But does a feeling judge a fight? No, it doesn't. You have to sit down and score the fight round by round, and then
Right.
you can turn around and say, "I think he won because X, Y, Z."
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's emotions versus rationale is basically what I'm getting at, and um, I think, and I'm generalizing when I say this, but I think the vast majority of Wilder supporters are very, very emotional, and they're not very rational.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You said that shit 100, unrivaled. How about you? You seen any mannerisms of motherfuckers that you can share with us?
Before he jump in, if you know he might, I don't know if he busy, just so it won't be no airspace.
Yeah.
Um, it is a feel to boxing. Now I cannot deny that. Um, there's a feel to all sports because you have to make predictions in sports. And as boxing fans now, this is not to really just get on people who go with feelings, right?
Right.
We all have feelings. We have that gut instinct because we are attached to the sport.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And part of our sport is making formulated opinions based on what we kind of see and feel. Because, like, let me give you an example, right? Um, Riddick Bowe. No, let me take Holyfield. Holyfield is a very accomplished fighter, right?
Oh yeah.
Those, those are the facts. He is great, undisputedly. But if you put him in the ring with Deontay Wilder now, okay,
Yeah.
based on his age and based on Deontay Wilder's youth,
You
because
lose.
we as boxing fans know this. You see what I'm saying? So we know that there's tricks of it, and the reason we use feelings is because we know there's politics in boxing.
Yep.
See, so I can say if Deontay Wilder knocks out Holyfield on his resume, the fact will be that he actually did, and you can't take it away from him. But we knew the feel for the fight.
Right. Right.
So feelings and charisma does have a place against somebody who is factual and the emotions. But you just got to make sure that if you're a factual person, you have enough charisma to, uh, combat that.
Exactly. Like with the example you're saying, the way people are trying to take away from AJ fighting Klitschko, regardless of his age, he was still defending. If not
Exactly.
defending, he was a fucking defending champion. He was still active. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can't take that away from him. But a lot of the Wilder fans like to do that simply because he looked better than Wilder in that fight doing that. So what they
Now,
do, he fought an old man. But then here comes King Kong Ortiz, who is, and it's fact that he is older than fucking Klitschko, kid.
correct.
And it's okay for Wilder, and we can't call Ortiz a fucking old man the same way you did with fucking Klitschko. So here comes the emotional content now, where they start calling you names. They start call, they leave the subject, they leave the debate, and they start calling you a hoe, and I'm gonna fuck you up, and all this other shit. You know what I mean? You're precisely correct, my man.
Well,
For
what that
real.
is, you got to be careful. There are going to be people who blatantly going to hold double standards.
Oh yeah.
I seen it that what you talking about is a double standard.
Oh yeah.
So I love when people give something that's absolute on their feelings. Because see, one thing about a feeling is that if you feel a certain type of way, then you have to maintain that feeling across the board.
Right.
If you say you don't, then that just point out your biasness. And
Right.
you have to be honest then at that point. Most of them try not to be honest. They try to say, I'm being fair. But if they do, then that kills the argument.
Right.
So if you say, man, I give full credit to Deontay Wilder for fighting Ortiz because I think Ortiz is a great boxer. Okay, that's fine. I'm discounting his age because that's what you're saying, and I respect that because he
Right.
shouldn't have had his old self in the ring, right?
Right.
I will take that same philosophy to AJ and apply it,
Right.
and then I will compare AJ versus Vladimir versus Ortiz, and Vladimir would be the better of the two. So
Thank
when
you.
it comes down to saying we're okay with guys fighting old fighters because the old fighters shouldn't get in the ring, we're not going to take credit away from them, then I consider that to be fair.
Right.
But what you would have is a Wilder fan wouldn't do that. They would, because I'm a Wilder fan. They
Right.
would then turn around and try to discredit Klitschko.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
some
oh,
in the Klitschko fans. Now, here's the thing: the Klitschko fans of Wilder, not Wilder. I'm saying the Klitschko fans, the people who are fan of Klitschko fighting AJ and like AJ and hold Vladimir Klitschko high because of the facts, because of the stats, because you can. They also use the feeling argument themselves.
right.
They had said, now this is the standard now. They said, well, Wilder doesn't want to fight Ortiz. Why don't he fight Ortiz? Because it was a feel that because of the lack of experience and resume of Deontay Wilder, Ortiz could have knocked him out.
Right.
So the opposition, the AJ fans, let's talk about it. They clamored for the fight because they felt that Ortiz probably could kick his ass.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
See what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it worked both ways. So you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be balanced. So then you can't say I have a feeling. I think that Ortiz can whoop Wilder's ass, and he gave him a run for his money, and then say, okay, I don't think the guy's that good.
Right. Right.
See, I discredit Ortiz because why? Let me tell you why. I don't get caught up in that. I discredit him because he's a cheating bitch. See, I'm different. I discredit Ortiz because he has a history of PEDs, and I don't trust him.
Does this go for Baby Miller as well now?
I hate Baby Miller. I hate Povetkin.
Thank you.
Okay?
All right.
I don't like those three, and I'm talking about currently. We can dig back into the past, and I can give you multiple examples of that. But I'm saying for this new era of heavyweights, the technology is too great for you to work out, and it's too dangerous these days to be taking illegal drugs, man.
Yep.
It's too dangerous.
Yep.
So I'm not with that shit. That's just me.
I hear that. And Tommy, yesterday when you witnessed the debate, right? What flaws did you see in the opponent, and exactly how would you have handled that had you been me?
Well, we talking about age, whole money.
We're talking about everything. We're talking about all three victories. I'm just funny. Yeah. We're talking about all three debates.
All right.
Like, how would you have handled that?
Let me talk about age. Right. First of all, I would have muted him a long time before you did because he was just chatting shit.
Right.
I'm the best. I'm this. And he says, yeah, I kept on. What was it he said? Something like, oh, yeah, he'd smash you. He'd do this. He'd do that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's all fucking posturing.
Yep.
That's the shit you do before you start a fight.
Right.
That's not even real fighting.
Right.
The guy, he sounds like he's still a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds young.
Yep.
The way I would handle it is, as soon as he stepped out of line, I'd have given him one warning, and if he didn't listen, then he goes on mute straight away.
Gotcha.
And then you give him 3 strikes, and then you tell him all this before it happens, and on the 3rd strike, it's like, thank you, but goodbye. There's the door.
Gotcha. And you know what's noticed about most of these boxing debates too is, like, sometimes, you know, some channels have their little cronies. You know, they got their cronies and shit.
Yeah.
And they'll jump a motherfucker. You know, they'll jump them in the comment section. You know, they'll jump them on the live. You know, and I just feel that example needs to be shown. You know what I mean? Examples need to be shown. I think I've shown yesterday. I need Zone 6. I need Unrivaled. I need all debaters out there, if you don't mind, to just show example in a debate, point it out, call it out, and let motherfuckers know that, you know, what they're doing is just kicking and screaming and acting out. Meanwhile, we're really debating. So, you know, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we're doing a good job. And there's a lot, you know, we have great channels out there. Not gonna lie. We got good channels out there. A lot of channels. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you see the video Boxing Librarian did earlier today?
No, I have to check it out.
Okay, right. Basically, he breaks down a lot of things. And I think when it comes to a debate, as Unrivaled said, you're better off starting off with the facts. Get through the facts first, because the facts are indisputable, right? Right. And then you look at the context of a lot of other things, and then anything else really comes down to opinion, and an opinion is basically an example of is a fantasy matchup. And
Right.
anyone can have an opinion on a fantasy matchup, but it's just an opinion because that fight will never happen.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, and it's some things that there's some things that we should be obvious at this point. It should be certain codes. One code is we have a problem with stating the obvious or debating the obvious. So, for instance, we shouldn't get carried away when we ask who can win between Jack Johnson and Mike Tyson. Okay, it's going to be passionate, and this is an opportunity for debaters who are very charismatic, who knows about boxing, and they don't want to always talk about the facts, but they want to talk about the abstract and the the social part of boxing. That's where you can thrive at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the absolute rule is the black and white. Now, if you're great and you know so much about boxing, you can destroy the rules. Like, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. I had a debate a couple of years ago with my boy Boxonologist about Pacquiao and Mayweather and resume. Now, something that was clearly blatant in the first Pacquiao fight was that he didn't get credit for a fucking knockdown. Like, we all know that. Like, that was a blatant error, and the ref came out and said, I blew it. I didn't kind of, tell the judges, and everybody knew that should have been another knockdown point for Manny Pacquiao, which cost him the fight. See, in that case right there, there's something that's
Was that the draw?
Yeah, it was a draw, but it would
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
been had they had given
Yeah.
him his additional knockdown. See,
But I don't know. What I don't understand about that is surely did the referee not score the knockdown, or does he have to tell the judges? What are you saying?
well, they didn't, because what happens is they try to do this thing where they don't like to, as a courtesy for the boxer for some reason, I guess not to have them all the way out of the fight, is not go past a 10-7 round. That's what they say. They like to do 10, 10-9, 10-8, 10-7, anything under 10-7, they kind of usually stop the fight. But for some reason, they didn't, incorporate that into the scoring system during that fight.
That's the judge's fault. That's not the referee.
Exactly. Well, they was supposed to be some kind of communication between the two.
But what I'm saying is surely every time Marquez got knocked down, there was a count.
Yeah, but see, but
if you see a count, then obviously you have to take a point off that opponent straight away.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, but see, I'm telling you, because of that courtesy, so I don't know. Okay, so if they saying they don't want to go past 7, the referee counted, but did he say, hey, did you score? I don't know. But I know it was a blunder. See, now that's a fact that was turned into a fucked up fact. Like, the fact is that it was a draw. And you can say, oh, it's a draw. And it can be hard to dispute it, but you can dispute it within a blatant disregard for the rules, which is a fact. You see what I'm saying? So that can alter. That's altering the thing of boxing. Like, if you know somebody loaded their hands up with bricks and they pulverized the guy, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, he got credit for a TKO, but let's not play games here. He fucking cheated. That's a fact. You know what I mean?
Facts, yeah, facts.
Right. Yeah. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, Cotto, now it's highly probable that Margarito used bricks. And we're closer to the side of him using bricks more so than not. See, that fucked Cotto's career up, but the fact remains that he lost to him once. You see what I'm saying? See how that blatant disrespect for the rules, which is a fact, can be argued, even though we got in black and white that Cotto lost. We got Pacquiao as a draw. That's the kind when you get into deep debating.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yo, Unrivaled, man, let us know about this. You agree with Zone 6? Is he available?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, of course I agree with him. Like, right, fact and fiction. Right, first of all, it's kind of obvious what's right and what's wrong. They're polar opposites of each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we agree.
Yes.
And every time I hear the word fact be used, it pisses me off.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm not even gonna joke. I even heard it here once, and I disagreed with it. And it was earlier, like, no offense, Jay. Like you said, you'd look for someone to call you out if they disagree, right? You said
Yes, sir. Yes,
that
sir.
you said Luis Ortiz
Yeah.
is older than Vladimir Klitschko. Fact,
It
opinion.
was what? Was what?
Older than Luis Ortiz is older than Vladimir Klitschko, and then you said fact, which is an opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
We
yeah,
don't
but
know factually.
right,
Factually, we do not know.
right,
We
right.
can
But
make
what I
that
should have stated, what I should have
conclusion on
stated,
his appearance. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, definitely. What I meant to say was he was old in as to in the ring, like movement, because of course Klitschko's way more faster and more sharper than Ortiz. That's what I actually meant, not in age. My bad.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sorry about that. But I see what you're saying, though.
And then that goes into discrepancies of term and terminology, which is brilliant that you say it like that now, because when people do that, as Zon pointed out, people like to reword and use their charisma to change the situation of their argument, just like that. Because I knew what you were talking about, and I knew that's exactly where you were going to go, talking
Right,
about the
right,
old
yeah.
age and everything. For
Right,
example,
right.
you're a factualized, charismatic debater.
Right.
Zone is a charismatic, factualized debater. Me, I'm a neutral, factualized debater. Like, this is where it comes down to. Well, it comes just down to how people want to view a certain term. If you're too literal, like I just pointed out there, all of a sudden you fall away in that debate. You'll automatically fall away. When I see people talking about, let's say that guy, what's his name? H, is that his name?
Yeah,
Ho ho ho.
home money. Yeah, Jay Cottle's bitch. Yeah,
Right. So that dude was talking about Wilder
yeah.
being the greatest heavyweight of all time. Right now,
He called
now,
Wilder a god as
right
well.
here's the thing: if you're gonna call someone the greatest heavyweight of all time, you need to know all of the heavyweights automatically. Is that fair? You need to know every heavyweight of all time, right?
Well,
Very,
you
To
very,
call
need to, you
someone the
need
very
to know
fair.
the
greatest.
great ones at least.
Yep, very
I
fair.
would
Yep.
I would actually say you need to know all of them, Tom. The reason why
I don't
is
disagree with that.
the reason why is there's some fighters out there who fought heavyweight at bare knuckle that most people don't know, who went 21 years unbeaten through the
Jesus.
1600s and stuff like that. So when you start saying greatest of all time,
Years.
you're talking of all time. This can go back to the Greek era of the origination of pugilism. The second you do that, is that a fair statement, boys?
Yeah. God damn.
The
Yeah, yeah.
second you
That is a
use
very
the
fair
words
statement.
of
Yeah,
all time,
yeah.
if you say he's the greatest of his era, we can
Yep.
debate. If you say of all time, you need to tell me every great heavyweight of all time, and we can go.
Exactly. You
So
need stats. You need weight. You need to come with weight. I hear exactly what
now
you're saying.
he was on another podcast later that day. I didn't come in because it was too easy for me. But I was going to ask him. I was going to ask him one simple question. It's a very one simple question.
Right.
The Lennox Lewis lineal reign. I was just going to ask him, who was the man who started that lineal reign? And
Right.
who did he beat to do it? If he can't give me the answers, how on earth does he know that this guy is factually the best of all time?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's a basic trivia question. Like we know, guys. It was Floyd Patterson started
Hmm.
that lineal line by beating Archie Moore
These guys,
from the previous line, which retired with Marciano.
there we
And then if
go.
you bring up Marciano's reign, he had 8 defenses, right?
Right.
Now he knocked all of those defenses. Every opponent that he fought, one made it the distance, but then the rematch he stopped
Was
them,
that
which was
Archie
Ezra
Moore?
Charles. No,
Hmm.
Ezra Charles.
Yeah,
And
he's hard. Yeah.
so Ezra Charles was the one who made it go the distance, but Marciano he stopped all of those opponents. Whereas
Hmm.
Wilder he stopped all of those opponents bar one, which is Fury. He hasn't knocked Fury out yet. So Marciano wins in that debate where he brings up the statistic of the best KO run. Plus,
Exactly.
Wilder hasn't stopped. He hasn't stopped a Hall of Famer.
Ex-
Marciano stopped 5 in that reign.
There we
Well,
go.
no, he had 5 KO wins against Hall of Famers, beaten 3 via stoppage. Ezra Charles, Jersey Joe Walker, I believe it's Jersey. Yeah, Jersey Joe Walker, and Joe Louis. And then, well, people will be like, well, it's an old Joe Louis. Fair
Archie
enough.
Moore.
Did he beat Archie Moore in that title reign?
Oh, I thought you saying who he stopped. Stop.
I'm talking in his actual title reign.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
because we're not going to bring up before, so I'll make sure if it is Archie. Yeah, he stopped Archie Moore in his title reign.
There we
So
go.
these are the guys. His first one for the NBA, Jersey Joe Walcott, 52, beaten by KO. Rematch, beaten by KO. Got a decision victory over Ezra Charles, then stopped Ezra Charles. Then he's got a stoppage over Don Cockle, a very good fighter at the time, a very, very good fighter at the time. And then he stopped KO, not TKO, KO over Archie Moore, who is, in my opinion, my number 6 of all time on my top list. Of all time. Ezra Charles is my number 10. So on my list, he's beaten 2 top 10 fighters of all time, Marciano, and he's not even in my top 50 fighters of all time. And then Wilder, his best victory is a man who's fighting heart palpitations on the way to the ring.
Yeah, straight up.
And that's actually a fact because they came out and they said that he was having blood pressure and heart palpitation issues before going to the ring. That's literally a fact.
Yeah. Yep. Well.
So this is the type of stuff. So if H Money does happen to listen to this, I want you to go and learn the entire lineal line of the sport and then tell me he's the best of all time and then tell me how. Just tell me how. And if you can tell me exactly how, statistically, when he doesn't have the most amount of title defenses, he doesn't have the most knockouts in title defenses, he doesn't have the highest knockout percentage in title defenses, he hasn't fought against the highest percentage of top 10 opposition in heavyweight history because that goes to Muhammad Ali.
Exactly.
Because he fought over 70% of his career against top 10 opposition, which is remarkable considering he had over 60 fights.
It's fucking nuts, man. And Deontay Wilder, these guys are fucking upset because, Joshua in his 15th fight won the IBF, right? Then you got I would say in his 17th fight, Andy Ruiz won the NABF. Now to say that Andy Ruiz ain't shit, but yeah, he was defending that NABF for 4.5 years before he met Parker. I mean, don't you think he's already surpassed Wilder at a certain plateau there? I think so, right? So I have to agree with what you're saying, Unrivaled. Like, even in this era and the era before that and the era before that, you still have to know the lineage, of the heavyweight division and how it all ties in to being, lineal and being the best out of the best. You know what I mean? This is why I always would get mad when these racist motherfuckers would come out and say that boxing needs a black face, that boxing don't have a black. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, this is
black faces on boxing.
Yeah.
Black faces on boxing for centuries.
Yes.
The very first like marquee name would have been John L. Sullivan, but the one who catapulted that and was, in my opinion, did something that people don't give Floyd enough credit for, by the way, which is getting the hate and love divide so strong between them. So there were so many haters and so much lovers. It was ridiculous. The first man to do that was a black man, Jack Johnson.
Yeah. Yep, Johnson. Yeah, he was the most flauntiest. He was the first flaunter out there, bro. He used to walk around with the white women. They didn't like that at that time. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, the crime they charged him with that he was just pardoned for was, for something like that. You know what I mean? It's like I said, man. This shit has been done before. There are innovators.
The Man Act.
Yep.
Transporting white women across state borders.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And I have a question, gentlemen. Right? I'm sure a few of you have read books and stuff on boxing. And when you look at a boxing book, whose face appears the most on boxing books?
Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
Floyd Patterson.
Exactly.
If not Robinson. Or if not Ali, exactly. Or if not Ray Leonard in the 80s. Yeah, but in the 80s it was Ray Leonard a lot.
Leonard, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. But if you look up like every boxing encyclopedia,
right?
Like you'll see 4 or 5 people. You'll see Ali in every one of them. Whether Holmes appears on it, or whether Leonard appears on it, or Duran appears on it, Muhammad Ali's in the center.
Yes.
Yep.
Facts. That is
Or
a
Mike
fact.
Tyson. Mike Tyson normally is either on the left or the right of Ali, or on a couple of books he's in the center. Now, when this is all about like the history of boxing books itself, Ali is the prime example. He
Yep.
is the face, even in death. He's the face of this sport, even now.
Right.
When you
He was
think, if
Lanil
you ask
twice.
any,
Am I wrong? Unrivaled. Zone. Tommy, am I wrong? Ali was the only champ to beat Lanil twice.
3 times.
3.
3. Look at that. Look at that. I'm sorry, Ali. I'm sorry. I even missed one. You see what I'm saying? That is why.
3
That is
times.
exactly why.
3 times. Once when he beat what's his face, Sonny Liston. I'll give it to you in chronological order. Liston,
Yeah.
Foreman, Spinks.
Spinks.
There we go.
After he lost to Spinks and beat him in the rematch.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and remember when Mayweather said with Stephen A. Smith before he fought Pacquiao that nobody would accept him fighting a fighter that was 7-0, like Ali fought in Spinks, right, and lost to him, but yet he dared and fought Conor McGregor, who was 0-0, and dared to call him great. Motherfuckers like Brandon Schwab, the most casual motherfucker out there. You guys remember that?
Yep.
He's
You know?
he's an idiot, that guy.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
I think he was also saying Floyd added that he wouldn't lose to a motherfucker that's 7-0 too.
I just heard him say.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I just heard him say that nobody would accept him fighting somebody that was 7-0. That's what I heard him say in the interview.
It was about losing.
Yeah.
That's what he was making fun of Ali for in the slick way, saying he lost to a guy that was 7-0. He said I would have never done that.
Yep.
But Floyd also
I mean,
orchestrated his
who right now
selection
be the?
too.
I'm sorry?
Now I said
Right.
Floyd.
Guys, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
right now would be considered the pound for pound number 1 by most people? Would it be Lomachenko? He's normally either 1 or 2 on most lists, isn't he?
Yeah. On some
Whether
people.
we
Pound for
whether
pound.
we do it or not, he does come in at number 1 or 2 on nearly every list.
Does he?
Nearly all of them.
I was thinking
On the
Canelo.
consensus ones of. Well, I have Canelo 3 myself.
I was thinking Canelo,
Well,
man.
let's look at Ring Magazine.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Right. So Ring Magazine, they have. You would think in Canelo. Most people put a lot of asterisks on Canelo. Lomachenko lost in his second fight, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He to what? To Salido.
And then to Salido. And then this guy who's considered pound for pound number 1. Ali lost to a guy who was 7-0. Gary Russell Jr., who was the consensus number 1 featherweight at that time, he lost to a guy who was 1-1 in Lomachenko.
Right.
And of course, Floyd wouldn't do that because Floyd, as we all know, hand shows his opponents. He wouldn't go in there with a hungry 7-0 Olympic gold medalist who was knocking everyone out left and right.
Agreed.
If he did, he would have fought against Errol Spence when Errol Spence was 7-0, but he said no.
Yep. Or Thurman when Thurman was calling him on.
Thurman when Thurman was coming up and calling them out when he was 14, 15 and all.
Yep.
Because he knew they were hungry. He'd rather fight an Andre Berto, who had already lost like 3 or 4 times.
That was the most pathetic fight ever, man. That fight was pathetic.
McGregor, what do you think would have happened if Mayweather fought Hatton at 140 instead of fighting Gatti?
At 140?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the honest truth. I don't know.
None of us know.
I think Floyd probably would have still beat him. I think he probably would. It's just because Ricky only has one style, Right. Come forward and brawl with you. Floyd adapted. I'm not a big Floyd fan, but he can box.
Yeah, he can.
Fucking box.
He can. But the thing here is, like, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was much more. He had more of a killer streak in him. You know what I'm saying? He was just magnificent when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. Then when he became Money Mayweather, you can tell that the record started becoming padded. He was becoming more protected and more gimmicked. You can tell. You can see. I mean, he did hand choose his opponents. What do you call that? You know, I can't call it privilege. I can't call it working your way up in boxing to do that for yourself. We would have
Right.
to, yeah, we would have to call that a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You know,
having your pick, basically.
yeah, yeah. You know,
That's what he
and
had. He had his pick of whoever he wanted because he
right,
was the golden goose.
yeah, yeah. And then a lot of guys out here, you know, they used to give him praise because they thought that he was the inventor of the fucking Philly shell. And I'm trying to tell motherfuckers that George Benton Jr., okay, that was the Philly shell master. That's the grandfather of that style. And nobody ever pays respect to George Benton. I don't know why, but motherfuckers need to start respecting George Benton because a lot of these guys got their steps from. As a matter of fact, George Benton Jr. had helped Evander Holyfield through most of his fucking career. Like, you know, people need to start opening up their texts, man. If you're really gonna do this, if you're really gonna debate motherfuckers like us and other people that are like ridiculously versed in the fucking, I mean, you got to do your homework now. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this debate platform that's going on with most of these motherfuckers. It's like a little boy stepping to a grown ass man. Then when he gets smacked, he want to start bitching. But hold up, you should have known when you step to a grown ass man, you was gonna get handled like one. And that's the problem here. No, that's the problem here. So I think that we all need to stand together. Uh, participate in the debates as to being there and just observing the debate. Because I had called this out years ago, and it has come to fruition now, whether you like it or not. This is the landscape, right? It's casuals versus hardcores. All right, I was the first one to call it out. I told everybody to gear up, strap up, because we were going to war very soon. We've been in war with this shit for about 3 years now. There's not many that have been firing. I know I have been straight up in the front line. Now, everybody who's well versed in this fucking sport need to stand up. You know what I mean? We need to stand up.
Oh, most definitely. And also, Jay, some
Yeah,
of these casuals think that the hardcore fans or the historians or whatever, we're just trying to bully them. Absolutely not. One of the main things is we actually want to teach them. We do
right.
want to teach them because we need the fucking casuals to keep this sport alive. That's
Exactly.
why we converse with them. It's the god honest truth.
Exactly.
Without
Exactly.
without them, we have no pay per view anymore.
That's
There's not
true.
Exactly.
many of us.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Exactly. It's just like, look, when you learn something, everybody comes in as novice. Everybody comes in with no skill, right? Whether it's a
Oh
martial
hell
art
yeah.
or whether it's a lesson, you have to learn. Now, if you come into the lessons like you already know it, what's going to happen? You're going to fail. And this is what's going on. These guys are trying to step to guys who are well versed on some bullshit, like if they know what they're saying, you know what I'm saying, and they don't know anything. So and then now when we're coming out and we're washing them out, we're flushing them down the toilet, bro. We're stuffing all of these facts down their throat. Their cronies and everybody else. Oh, that's fucked up. You're like, you're picking on them, or and then they get mad. Oh, you don't know shit about boxing. It's funny on how I just came out with statistics and you just stood shut, or you continue to scream and spit on your mic out of anger. But I'm over here just ripping your shit up with facts. So that's what happens, bro.
Mate,
Yeah,
like the worst thing I think I've heard from somebody who was like, he was telling me like, well, I've been studying the history of the sport for 4 years, and I'm like, oh great. What do you think's the best stat? Who do you think's the greatest lightweight of all time?
right.
Lightweight, right? This motherfucker said Archie Moore.
The fuck?
Oh man, he must have
That's
mixed
like me
her.
saying Sandy Sadler's the best light heavyweight of all time. Are you
Like,
kidding me?
He
what?
probably got the lights. He probably got the lights mixed up. I'm gonna just give that a.
Oh yeah, that's that. I would totally agree with you, Zone, if he didn't tell me that Emil Griffith is the best bantamweight of all time.
Zone, he said,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm
yeah.
gonna say he made a mistake.
And say and mix the word light confusing him because we have a lot of lights in our divisions. Like this, like that, and it's confusing. What I'm
Yeah.
saying across the board.
But then he said bantamweight. It doesn't even have bantam. He said
No,
bantam for the first
when you
ever
said
WBC champion.
when
Like,
Oh
fuck.
my God.
when you
Wow.
said bantam, then I
Yeah.
couldn't do anything for him. You said bantam. You said
Zone
bantam.
Troid. And I'm not gonna call him out. I'm not gonna call him out because since then he's a subscriber on my channel. But since then he started to study. He has started to study. He knows who he is. But he has
Good.
started to study. And do you know who his answer for the greatest lightweight of all time is now? Which is more fair? Joe Gans. Fair
Okay.
enough.
Okay. Okay.
There you
But
go.
this could be a curriculum for a lot of people. So you got to understand that, so people don't get into the knowledge and the curriculum of boxing, because boxing is a deep sport. It's not like football or basketball where there's constant coverage. You constantly see stats roll across the screen to remember, and we don't have that with boxing.
Right.
Football and basketball are tracked in America. I'm saying, and when I say football, I'm talking about American football. It is tracked daily. Every move a player, every free agency move is made on the off season. You track the person, and they also continue to say this person had over 1,500 yards receiving. He had 80 catches last year for this team. Hopefully, he can duplicate that next year. So it's a constant reminder or a ballpark figure of where the receiver, running back, or point guard, where they stand. Boxing, we don't have that. It's only wins and losses. We don't really have a constant scroll of information outside of YouTube about boxers. We don't.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't. We just don't.
So it's hard.
And
It's
you can
hard. Out of sight, out of mind. With football and basketball, it's not out of sight, out of mind. These guys are talking about Anthony Davis joining the Lakers, and basketball season just ended.
You know what I'm
Just ended. Just ended, dude. Now,
saying?
boxing, on the other hand, there's these hot streaks, and then it cools back down. Like 2 months before the fight, absolutely, we're all talking about it. And then once the fight ends, it's over. Unless it's somebody that we are, putting against each other, like AJ and Wilder.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? AJ and Wilder. But they try to build these fights so long and for so much for no reason, that's what's killing the sport. If these guys was constantly fighting, wins and losses would kind of go to the back seat, and who you are in a level of competition will become more important.
Mm.
But
Mm.
these guys got to fight twice a year, and they only give us one good fight, with the other one being a tune-up fight en route to the big fight that we get once a year. Stupid,
Right.
man.
Yeah. Very, very
Stupid.
fucking stupid. Very stupid. Hey,
And
Loma King, what's going on, brother? Listen, H Money can't jump on with veterans, kid. My man got no skill. I changed his pamper. My man is done. He dead, son. And that's not even the real H Money, kid. And I think H Money's gonna have problems with the real H Money real soon, boy. So you keep going around there and disrespecting niggas that are building their own platform and fucking clout chasing. And you niggas that's really following niggas like this, bro, I would like you to just leave my live and unsubscribe, man, because you niggas is fake. So Loma, you can go fuck yourself, dog. Peace. Yeah. My bad, bro.
poor Jake.
Yeah, like I gotta get rid of niggas like this, because it's like these guys wanna start shit, and you know what I mean, and all this other bullshit, and then now all of a sudden it's like he got little cronies like this nigga here who just don't know how to stop, and and like I said, bro, it is what it is, bro. Niggas need help. That's how you know that they lost, when motherfuckers got other motherfuckers sending messages and you know what I mean, and rooting for them. You could already tell they you know what I'm saying. That dude H Money, I'm gonna call you Whole Money, dog. Like guys like this is exactly where we get our wins. Now we can't call them empty wins, but we have to call them wins, because these guys get embarrassed. Like straight up, I wiped my ass with his whole persona. If he's gonna
Mate,
come on,
I wouldn't
yeah.
debate him, Jay.
I mean, like I said, I tried to debate him, but he want to scream like a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was on BDF, when they pointed it out to me, obviously he was calm because they were saying the things that he agrees with. You feel what I'm saying? But now when you disagree with motherfuckers, they start screaming. And this was I listen, I have the energy for that. But the thing is that they're gonna lose because they can't over talk me, over scream me. You saw it yesterday. You saw it yesterday. And then especially when I'm in control of the mute button, bro. I mean, come on, that's all me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say like this, man. You know, these debates and these boxing talks have to be respected. Guys like this that are, that are trying to come on and just call themselves the king without putting in any work and have no boxing knowledge whatsoever. I think boxing fans that follow, channels like ours and follow low lives like this with only 35 fucking subs, which are nobodies. You know what I'm saying? You should really reevaluate your situation, man. You know what I mean? Because just like I outed you out of my shit, others are gonna do it too. Don't be surprised if motherfuckers on the panel out you now. You know what I'm saying? For you following this nigga. So if I were you, I would stop following H Money because that's not the real H Money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, follow the real niggas. Anyone want to add to that?
I'd just say, like, I personally wouldn't debate the guy just because, I'm not Wilder, man. I don't want to pad my record. I take on real people.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Like, I'd nuke this guy to fucking.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, it's overkill, bro, for casuals like that. He's just a loudmouth casual. That's all it is. All these guys are just loudmouth PBC casuals, bro. You know, that's all they are. Some of them will convert, after getting beat up by us, and other fight fans that are like, you don't know shit about boxing, you fucking whack, you know what I'm saying? You know, and dudes are like that, And what's funny is that look, now you got another dickhead by the name of Michael Ramalek talk about stop ducking. Did you hear yesterday, Michael? Michael, did you hear yesterday's debate? Did you see how I changed this pamper twice? If you didn't, then you need to get the fuck off my channel, dog. You know what I'm saying? H Money is not ducked ever. H Money is defeated. So Michael, get off my dick. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to get off my dick. And you calling that exposure, but yeah, he's yelling like your fucking moms when your father don't give it a dick, Michael. I mean, and that's okay because you're arguing for the man on my channel. What does that make you? That makes you a fucking diva. It makes you a fucking pom-pom waver. It makes you a dick rider. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're dick riding H Money, who's taking clout from the real H Money. That's not the real H Money. You know what I'm saying? That's not the real H Money, kid. So if you're gonna continue to try to talk for H fake ass money, whole money, talk about he exposed me, but yet everybody sees that I beat the shit out of him. Not once, but twice. Never done before. And it is done. But before I go, man, I just want to say thank you to everybody that joined me. My man Zone 6, my man Tommy Temper, you know what I'm saying? My man fucking Unrivaled Sports, Boxing Talk, Thank you very much, man, for sharing. Ross Clyde obviously couldn't make it. We'll get on it again. But we'll get on this once again. You know what I mean, Tommy? You got anything else you want to say before you bounce?
No, you covered everything really well, Jedi. You smashed it.
All right, man, definitely. So I just want to let you guys know to stop following fake ass fucking fake ass boxing channels and just be real. You guys have to be real. You have to be real with yourself, and you have to be real with the sport. If you're gonna be following guys like this that are saying that Wilder is number one, but yet don't know nothing about the heavyweight division and what came before him, you know what I'm saying, that was the greatest ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? You guys are missing a lot of dance steps. So before you fuck with anybody like myself or anyone that I know or anyone that's out there more credible than I am, your niggas better do your homework. Otherwise than that, I'm Jay Cotto, your boy. You know what I'm saying? And just have fun. You know what I mean? Just have fun with the debates. Niggas shouldn't be getting all emotional, over Wilder, calling him the greatest when there were others before him. And that's just basically it, man. So you guys, man, you guys have a great day. You know what I'm saying? And that's just basically it. MMA Newsroom, stick to fucking MMA. You fucking suck. I don't even know who you are. And he could call me a bitch, but everybody knows H Money is my bitch. Otherwise than that, God bless. Stay vigilant, guys. And y'all be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace.